YouTubians, Mr. Cool 13 here. Now today I'm going to be talking about NRL, which, if you know what NRL is, it involves using a ball like this. Now, NRL is an Australian term, but it is worldwide, known as Rugby League. Right, and with NRL / Rugby League, you use a ball. And there's a few different things which I'm going to be taking for you today, so you have an understanding of what it is and how to play it. And if you've never watched it before, you'll have a better understanding of what's going on. Okay, knock-ons. Knock-ons is where the player catches a ball and doesn't maintain a possession of it, and it goes flying forward like this. That is classed as a knock-on, and which means that if that happens, it's the end of that team's set of 6, and the other team gets the ball. Okay, knock-ons. Knock-ons is where the player catches a ball and doesn't maintain a possession of it, and it goes flying forward like this. That is classed as a knock-on, and which means that if that happens, it's the end of that team's set of 6, and the other team gets the ball. Before I was just explaining about sets of 6 and that thing. A set of 6 is how many tackles you get if you're playing. You get a set of 6, so when you get tackled, you'll see on the screen, it'll say first tackle. Or if you're playing it, you'll hear the ref say tackle 1 and release. And if the player does not release in the tackle, they get penalised. The other team gets penalised and they lose the ball. Depending on the tackle too, there's all kinds of different types of tackles when you get sets. The different types of tackles are, you can get high tackles, which is bad. You don't want to get high tackles because if you're one who gets high tackled, that can be very dangerous. And if you're the one who does high tackle somebody else, which means grabbing them around the neck like this, or throwing them dangerously onto the ground, you can get either 10 in the bin, which the ref does this, and a report. And in very worst cases, you'll be sent off, which means you don't play for the rest of the game. And you have to go to court and pay a huge fine. And also, talking about sets of 6, you get sets of 6, and then sometimes you get sets of 7. So if the ball goes out past where the big poles are, the goal, over the try line, they get a 7 tackle set, which means that when the first time it happens, it will say 0. Running on the ball, it is good to have the ball on your arm like this and run like that, because you've got more security of it and less likely to drop it. If you're running like this, you could let go and drop the ball and do a knock-on, which you don't want. Scrums. Now, if the ball does get knocked on, like I showed you before, like that, it does involve in a scrum, which means the players get in kind of like a ruck thing, as you see in rugby union, but they don't push and pull. They hands on the shoulders like this, the ball comes down, and they've got to roll the ball backwards with their foot. Get the ball in like this, and then roll it backwards with their foot. Okay, tries. Now, before I talk about tries, I just want to talk to somebody else about about when you're in when you're in a scrum, sometimes the team that has the ball isn't always the team that ends up with the ball. So say one team gets a scrum, they roll it back, the other team can manage to get the ball, and they have the ball and they go. Anyway, that's just something I thought to put in there. Now tries. Now, when you get a try, there's lots of different ways you can get tries. You can get a try which is if you're running and the other teammates, there's opposition's way behind you, you can just run up and just place the ball like that in front of the goals, which makes it easier for the goal kicker to get to convert it, which we'll talk about conversions later on. There's other tries where you can jump up in the air and then slam the ball down. So that's basically tries. Right, conversions. Now, after a try, you're going to have a kicker who might be a captain or might not be a captain. They're going to put the ball down on the tee and sit up like that. Then they're going to run and then they're going to come and kick. And the ball's going to go up and go through two poles, which are like this, with a bow in. Now, if it goes straight through that, then that's 2 points. A try's worth 4 points. But if it hits the pole and bounces off, then it's nothing. But the team still gets the ball back. And there's also two types. There's a few different types of there's the conversion. Then there's if you get a penalty where the team chooses to either to kick the ball if they're close enough to the pole and get 2 points, or to get 1 point, you're running, you see the ball and then you kick the ball and it goes through the goals to get 1 point, which is very helpful if it's equal score and it's going to a golden point. Golden point is very, very interesting. It's where at the end of the 80 minutes, which is how long the players have in the field, plus they have half time, is that it's the same score. And then they give the players an extra 5 minutes to see if someone can win. If no one wins in that 5 minutes, they give the player an extra 5 minutes. And if nobody's won in those 10 minutes, then they call it a tie. Unless it's a grand final or a premier final or a semi-final, where they have to have a winner to decide who goes on to the next level. Right, kicking the ball when you start the game, and other kicks you can do in the game, other than conversions. Right, when you're kicking the ball to the opposition, if they get the ball first, or whatever, you got to make sure you kick it and it goes to them. They don't have to catch it. If they don't have to catch it. If they don't catch it, then you get the ball back. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to kick it out on the full, which means the ball goes out over the sideline and then goes out on the full, which means they get a 7 tackle set. Also, if you do get a penalty, you can either tap like that, or you can kick for the sideline, which is very important that you actually go for sideline. I've seen players kick for the sideline, the ball's gone up and stayed in the field of play, and the other team gets it and then runs. And also, another thing for penalties to do is if you're close enough to the goal, you can go for a penalty kick, like I mentioned before. Okay, referees. Now, referees are the ones that tell you to get off when you tackle, like release, held, or they go no try or try. And if they say no try, then they have to go to a thing called the bunker, which is the video ref, where they check the computer system and slow down the footage to see if the player either gets the ball down or if there's an obstruction. Obstruction is when a player runs around his own player to get a try. And also they check to make sure the player has the field of play, which means if they get a try, the ball goes down like that, after he jumps, and they're going to see if his legs go out first, or if he gets the ball down first before he goes out. If he gets the ball down first before he goes out, it's a try. And Most of the time, or some of the time, the video ref can override the on-field ref. There's also a pocket ref, which is very handy. So if the ref says something, the pocket ref will say, no, sorry, that's incorrect. They have to change it. Now these days referees are getting a very bit slack, and they're supposed to be biased, but they're not. They give penalties, stupid penalties out these days. All the rules have changed, and the rules change every day, or every week, or whatever. They don't just change every year. They change pretty much every game. There's different rules all the time. Well, they're not actually different rules. They're just rules that the referees are putting there then, which shouldn't be allowed. Now, sometimes if a player gets dangerously tackled, 2 minutes or 3 minutes go by, and then the referee will pull it up, or the next day, or the day after, when it should be pulled up on their spot just then. So that's referees. That's all I know about NRL. You can Google it, YouTube it, or even decide to watch a game when NRL season's on, which is usually whatever it is your country, or you can even YouTube an NRL match on YouTube, and you can watch and understand it, and you can learn more. Thank you very much, YouTubians. Mr. Cool 13, sign off where it's cool. Now with rugby league, or NRL, there are 13 players on each side. And there's a few different rules. The first rule that we're going to talk about is